Greetings YouTube! Today we're talking about a no-touch tool. This particular tool is attached to my key fob, and I have my little flashlight here, and these are the only things I put on my keys because the keys are separate from my house keys. These go in my pocket, into my right pocket, while the keys go in the left pocket and hang off the edge. I picked up this particular tool at Target. I don't remember the brand. I apologize. I don't have the packaging any longer for it. But it was $4 and they're readily available at Target at the moment. And you can see from the shape of this, these were stamped. My wife has one too. And if you this fits in here perfectly. So you can see how they had stamped multiples of them at the same time. You can also see that it was stamped in this direction because there's a slight rounding on this edge, and that is not present here. Having said that, there are no burrs on this at all. It is very comfortable. It's very comfortable to the hand, and you use it like this when it comes to pushing and pulling things. So you can push things and you can pull things with this hook, which means you don't have to touch the object in question. Now this is made out of brass. And if you're going to get a no-touch hook, make sure that they're out of brass or copper, because those two metals have natural antibacterial characteristics. They're not 100%, but they're far better than any other kind of metal you're going to use. I think that bronze might have similar, but I don't know if they're as good as brass and copper. I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't know if I've seen any bronze, distancing kind of hooks before. Opening doors with this is really quite simple, particularly if it's like a sheet bent at a hook, so it's a solid piece of so it's a flat piece of metal that has been bent at an angle. So that's really easy to get those kind of doors. Doors that have more of a rounded profile, some of them are easier than others because some of them are they're quite large. You get some that are quite large, so you have to kind of come in and kind of go at an angle like this, not pulling like this because you might slip off, but you kind of have to go at an angle like that. Pushing buttons with this is quite simple, but they do have to be mechanical buttons or a touch screen that is touch and not capacitive, because this is not going to transmit your electrical impulses from your skin well enough to operate a capacitive screen. I have tested it. Now, one of the issues is that I noticed that a lot of keypads have shrouds on them. And the shrouds are there for privacy. So if normally you kind of reach your finger under there and you can just barely see the numbers on the outside edges of the pad, but that means that this is not really going to be able to reach in there easily to hit those numbers. I didn't find that myself. But because of this, I have actually been able to go into a public restroom, open a door, get into a stall, lock the stall, use the stall. I was standing, so I didn't have to touch anything in the stall. I had automatic flusher, so I didn't have to flush it. Open the door, get out, wash my hands, no touch sink, and the only thing I touched was the soap dispenser. Then get out of the bathroom, and I never had to touch anything with my hand because I had this hook. So this was quite useful in my opinion. My wife carries one as well. I also carry this on my key because, again, this is not hooked into my pocket. This just drops into my pocket, so it's more readily available to me, which is why I do it. Now, the one thing I have noticed is that when I'm opening the car, I'm often putting things into the back seat, so I'm tossing them into the car, and I'll boop my car, boop, 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 and then I'll go to throw something into the back seat with my right hand, and this will catch on my pocket of my coat, of my sweatshirt, because I wear a sweatshirt a lot of the time. So that was a bit of a hassle, and not something I really considered when I first purchased it. It's probably not going to be a problem for everybody because not everybody wears sweatshirts and does that particular action. But I did notice that I have had it happen to me a number of times. But I like this thing. I like the idea in general. You can find them online. There are really expensive ones made out of exotic stuff. I've seen ones made out of titanium. You know what I mean? And I think again, I don't know if I've seen bronze or not. There's probably out there somewhere. But this is brass. It was available from Target, so it's mass produced. It's cheap. It's $4. This is a great stocking stuffer if you are ever or a little gift for somebody going away. This is a great little thing to give them, because it means that they can manipulate things in their environment without touching them. And when we're in the midst of a pandemic, having the ability to move things around and open doors and things without touching them is really quite wonderful. So yeah, I'm a big believer in this type of a device. It's very handy, does its job. It's small, it's easy to put in your pocket. So you can't really lose. At $4, go pick one up.